Good day, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're gonna dive deep into the knowledge, why we need it. Everybody, I'm here on the front line, on the borderline of the property. I'm close to the ocean. The monkeys are here, and it's beautiful. Today, I want to talk about knowledge, how important knowledge is for so many things. Like being in the darkness about something makes you so much more easy to manipulate, and it makes you be in the dark about things. It's not a good thing. Ignorance is, and we're all ignorant in different ways where we don't know what we're doing, like whatever it is. And I feel like knowledge, the way it's spreading quickly right now, is one of the most important things, because it liberated me to have access to this knowledge from people, real people who have actually gone through things, and for example, the knowledge about manipulators. These are the kind of things you need to know when you're dealing with in any relationship, whether it be family, business, friends, romantic partnerships. You need to know this. You need to know how a manipulator works, like how they are everything you want them to be, and then they're like show you these red flags of like they just retract and minimize and ridicule you, and all these little things are so important so that your soul won't be destroyed on your voyage. All this um, wisdom that is being displayed from people of all ages, which is different from the education that we have received in the schools. The education that we received in our schools was a tool of manipulation, and it was also a tool of filling the need of the industries. That's why every person who works within that educational system only knows a small part of the entire thing. And that is a way to be able to control and manipulate the outcome. Because if one person would know it all, they could just walk off and just do it themselves. So that's, and even in medicine, same thing. They divide all the organs, and they have experts on the feet, and then the experts on the head, and then on this organ, on that organ. But they don't function together, or like Tamara Hill was mentioning yesterday in her live stream, that forgetting it every time. I'm gonna have to. I rethink it and I say it, and I rethink it and I forget it every time. Oh yeah, she was explaining. Tamara Hill, on her live stream yesterday, was explaining that how they separated medicine, or like medical, physical medicine, from psychology, from sociology. They separated it all. Now they're trying to put it back, wrap it back together, because there's no way you can heal these kind of problems without looking at the whole, the entire problem, and the source of the problem, not only the symptoms. And so I find that knowledge through what people have lived through, and these professionals who are sharing a lot of information that can help, that is helping a lot. People should, I feel like in knowledge, the things that you should study. I just saw something of Robert Edward Grant. He was saying mathematics in its applied form becomes physics. Physics in its applied form becomes chemistry. Chemistry in its applied form becomes biology. And biology in its applied form becomes psychology. Psychology, in turn, in its applied form, becomes sociology. And sociology, in its applied form, becomes philosophy. Now, philosophy, in its applied form, turns back into mathematics. So all of this is connected. There's no way you can disconnect biology from sociology and from psychology. So I feel like psychology is one of the first things that would be good to learn, like about yourself, self-awareness, uh, how how you who you are, knowing who you are and what your purpose is, and how you're perceived in the world, like a real, actual assessment of who and what you are, and how this affects the world, so that you're aware of how your moves actually affect other people. And then, of course, uh, knowledge about the systems that control you is very important. If you don't understand the systems that control the world you live in, you're gonna feel desperate because you won't understand why this is not working, why that is not working. You must study financial systems. You must study political systems. Study all the systems that are holding us in this position, and from there on you know how to go around them or change them. Everything changes. There's one thing that always happens is we always change. There's a continuous evolution. Like the person that I was yesterday is not the person that I am today. I learn every day so many things that expand my brain, and that's called neuroplasticity. Everything that you take in forms your brain. Everything that you live, everything that you put into it. So it's so important to put important things in your mind, or like, and if not, just let them go. And it's better to be in a calm space of tranquility of than make the wrong decisions based on an education that like was telling you lies. I remember also this very well. I remember in my physics class when I was challenging a theory that actually has been reproven after. I can't remember which one it was but I remember when it was reproven. I was like, well, there you go. So, my physics teacher, he was like, I was questioning his theory. I said, it makes no sense to me. And I was only, 16, 17 years old. The way he turns around and he just looks at me and tells me, you know what? I just memorize what we're teaching you here. And just don't worry about whether this great theory is right or wrong. And I realized the guy was blown away that I was questioning a theory. And I'm like, aren't we supposed to be questioning everything? Like, my dad taught me to question everything. So why? Explain. And so, moving on, like, are we gonna have education schools who want people to be just quiet, memorize everything, sit quietly at the desk and don't talk, or just do what we're told to do? And if not, we can discard you, and they will discard a lot of work now with AI because it makes sense. I mean, robots are incredibly fast, and they're just very fast and efficient in so many ways. But this gives us the freedom, the people, to work on our purpose, because they can't take over our creativity and our genuine source connection with God, where all the great inventions come from. So we have to that's where we have to move into self-employment, small medium businesses, uh, family business, where you're actually loving what you're doing, and giving them that joy, and that joy is passed through your product and your service, and people are so happy, and you're so happy because you can be with your family. Because when I grew up, my parents would go to work at that hour, and they would come back at 5, and then we'd have like 1 hour there, like after school. We were sent to school, and we come back in school. We're trained the same hours, 8 hours, like they do in the factories or whatever in the business world. We're already trained from small to get up and go and go, and get up and go. At one point, you realize that this is bullshit, and that's where knowledge is so great, because knowledge will open up your mind to so many things and so many opportunities. And you realize, well, at 90 years of age, I met a man called Steve Magruder. He taught me a very special prayer, which I will put in the end of this video. And I realized he was teaching me how to heal myself, how to protect myself from anything with pure metaphysics, energy and frequency. And I was like, oh. So, like Mary Macbeth said, I was 20 years ahead of time, and she says, nobody understand what you're saying, but I hope you understand now.